Okay, good morning. Plan today is quick hour and a half session right now. Okay, that was weird. Internet just blipped for some reason. That might just be Restream switching servers. Anyways, goal for today, get the sweeps code into a reasonable place. Clean up all the comments in the protein algorithm. Probably clean up all the new configs, since we made big changes to the way configuration works. Fix that. And yeah, then we will go from there. I think there's still stuff that we want to do with the main script and the way that everything is launched. But also we want to be like, we want to get to this place where we can start running final or close to final experiments as soon as possible. That would be ideal. But the closer to the final version of the code we get before we do that, the better. I also know that there's going to be probably multiple days of annoying packaging to do for this release, because we have to ship CUDA kernels, which means we have to ship binaries, and the process of building those is not fun. Unless I find some clever way around that, we're just going to have to figure that out. Let's get started here. We're going to start on protein. First of all, let me make sure that we have a clean setup. We do. All right, so here is our sweep file. It's currently a lot longer than I remember it. We have this data here for hyperparam testing. So this I actually think we're going to keep, because we're going to want this for like initial experiments. We might even want to clean it up. I think I want to go through all these comments and see if any of these look like applicable stuff. So what's this? Less than num samples. We do a random sample. Yeah, so what I did instead is the first one is the best set of hyperparams that you currently have. We can basically start it from saying defaults. I wonder how that's actually going to work with... You know, it's a little bit odd actually, because like this is going to make it hard to compare. So what we'll do is we'll do if we'll add this as like an extra. Okay, so now we only use this, we use it by default, but we have an option to not use it. What's this? Clip random samples to bound so we don't get high bad cost samples. Yeah, there's no clipping on these. But any changes to the core algorithm are going to require quite extensive experiments to resolve. It actually might make sense to start drafting the article while I'm doing this, because, or at least make some notes for the article, because we are going to write like a big blog post on this. I think it's going to be 2.5. We might make it 3.0 if it's really good, but I think more likely this is a 2.5. should put this not in front of the chat. So the original goal with protein was to eliminate edge cases and carbs stops exploring when you have a perfect model of it doesn't actually give you, it doesn't actually run experiments. So protein should actually run experiments along the entire frontier. Much simpler as well. Now, what we want to do is like protein other stuff tried. Because I tried like dozens of different things. So dozens of different scoring, normalization, objective functions tested during development. A few things we tried. So like one of the big things I think that was like one of the really difficult things was like how we get it to explore score, like percentile scores. I'm trying to remember what we ended up doing for this. Let me look at the current algorithm and like refresh my memory a little bit on what we did here. So the y value, which is your score variable, just gets normalized. Then you train GP score on that. You train linearly normed log cost function. And then you have this norm on here. So you unnorm the predictions. Just used for logging. Okay. Hey, welcome, Boxen. We're starting to actually go through all the different components now, make some notes, and clean up the final code. Twitter stream is down. God damn it. How do I fix that? It just didn't go back up when I... All right, you know what? Let me just stop and start the whole thing. It's ridiculous. I hate doing that because it cuts up the stream segments.